Well, let's take a closer look now at the film that seems to have provoked the violence in Libya and the protests in Egypt. The 2-hour movie called Innocence of Muslims apparently cost $5 million to make. It portrays the life of the Prophet Muhammad and touches on themes of pedophilia and homosexuality. The writer and director of the film is a man named Sam Bassil from California. He is now reportedly in hiding. Bassil describes himself as an Israeli Jew and told the news agency that Islam is a cancer. Let's speak now to Al Jazeera's White House correspondent Patty Culhane. And Patty, what is emerging about this filmmaker, about his intended political statement against Islam, as he himself put it, no doubt will make President Barack Obama's task of treading a very fine line all the more difficult. In what he said a few moments ago, did he likely strike the right tone as far as the American public is concerned?
Well, even before he started speaking, his opponent in the presidential race, which is less than 2 months away, Governor Mitt Romney, came out and criticized the president. Obviously, the U.S. Embassy in Egypt had come out and condemned this film, and Governor Romney is trying to paint a portrait of the administration apologizing for American values. That is a quote from Governor Romney. Obviously, the Obama administration wants to distance itself from this film because if you look at it, and you just went through some of the facts of it, if they spent $5 million, you're going to have to wonder where the $5 million actually went. There are a lot of actors. The sets are very basic. It's probably one step above my home video camera. This person behind this film said that he did it because he wanted, in many ways, to incite this kind of violence. He's standing firm in what he did, putting it on YouTube. YouTube has not pulled it yet. One of the things, though, when he was asked about at the time, just the one death that we knew of at the time, he said that it's not his fault, that he was sorry about it, but that is to be, the blame for that goes to the American government for not protecting its consulate and embassies better. So that's what we know about him. You can bet that all of the domestic media is going to be looking for this man and the people who put this on the website because we're seeing a split. Some people are focusing on that, others are focusing on what actually happened within the American media, and that's what we're going to be watching in the hours ahead.
And Patty, the fact that this film might have been financed by as many as 100 Jewish donors, presumably within the United States, and was intended to provoke, as you say, according to the filmmaker himself, will no doubt raise questions, won't it, about the influence, the role of those within the powerful pro-Israel lobby in the United States who fund these types of projects with the intent of provoking, of drawing a deeper wedge between the United States and the Muslim world.
Well, obviously, if that list is in fact true, that those names are going to come out, and that will be incredibly controversial. But I want to point out that we don't actually know what went into this movie. Again, if you look at the production values, $5 million seems like a bit of a stretch. He said he made it over 3 months and that it was financed by 100 people. But this is a man who made this film, who made these films, these characterizations that are literally the worst that you could make about anybody, specifically targeting the Prophet Muhammad, because he did want to see some sort of reaction. It does fall into a narrative of that some in the right wing that have been trying to promote is that you can only trust Israel in the Middle East. So now we have seen this reaction. The question really becomes the American people. How do they react to this news? Are they going to blame this man who's now in hiding, who is still trying to incite violence with his words even long after his movie trailer has done that? Or are they going to blame the people of Libya? We saw a bit of a tone with that with Secretary Clinton and with the President Barack Obama, saying it's specifically tragic that this ambassador died in Benghazi, the city that he tried to save. They went out of their way to say that it was Libyans who tried to pull his body and get him to the hospital to get help, that tried to stop the attack. What matters is what the administration does with this and how the American people react. The administration is signaling that it is not going to change anything with its relationship with Libya, but you want to watch for American public opinion. Let's think about history. When U.S. diplomats, especially diplomats, more so than military personnel, when diplomats are attacked, it's a very rare occurrence in this country. And when embassies attacked, you tend to see the American public get up in arms about this. That is something that every politician is going to be watching because, again, there's just 2 months to the election and you never know exactly what's going to turn an election when it's this close. So this is a very high stakes moment, not just for the relationship between Mitt Romney, the president, and the American public, but between the people of Libya and the U.S.
A lot of unknowns at this stage. Thanks very much for now, though. Patty Culhane in Washington.